So what is your take on the writing skills, Muskan? Like you have developed over a period of time, like you started writing when you were in your graduation days, or you started just like with prior to your preparation. What is your take on this?
So ma'am already covered it really comprehensively. So I'd like to add on. What I did was initially I faced a lot of issues in writing answers. I had this inertia also. I was like not willing to write answers. So what I did was I would refer to a past year question. I would read about it in detail. Then I'd write a rough answer and then I would make it a fair answer. I did this for around a month or two. And then only I became confident enough to write answer in a first go. And secondly, what I used to keep in mind was like when we read the past year question papers, there are many subparts in a question. So my practice was always to give answer to each and every subpart so that we can answer the question comprehensively. And certainly I used to make diagrams and flowcharts to make it more attractive and easier for the examiner to read. That was my strategy.
Fair enough. You very rightly said, sorry Sanjita, you're saying something.
I may add to what Muskan said, that we are always advised that you should write more and more test series, but I would always also advise all the aspirants that if you are writing more and more test series, along with it you are supposed to study as well. Take a week, take a part of the syllabus, study it very well. At least the static portion of yours should be very crystal clear. When your static is crystal clear, then only you can add the current affairs on top of it. So read about the topic and then appear exam. It's not that just for the sake of writing an answer you write and then you fill it with not very good answer and then you get poor marks and then you think what I am doing wrong. So read about it, build up your static, then add on the current affairs and then write a test. So make it
very rightly pointed out, and Muskan said, Muskan gave a wonderful strategy that first you do a rough patch of your work, then start doing, because initially what students do, they just start writing without having the knowledge. So first acquire some knowledge, I'm not saying go and become a scholar, because you can never become a scholar. So for UPSC is not asking for a scholar, it is asking for journalists. So have some knowledge and then move forward. Coming to paper 1 of GS, it is very, I think, one of the most highly covered paper, and it is very good for the sociologists like Sanjita, because social issues plays a very vital role. There was a wonderful question last year, which you have attempted, I believe, that role of women, if we are empowering the women, so how they can control the population. So what kind of dimensions you add in such kind of questions? I want to ask a social issue related question to you, Sanjita, how you, because since you are a sociology expert, sometimes your extra knowledge of social issues emerges. You have to stop, you have to put a break on your, knowledge performance. So what is your take on social issue related question in paper 1?
Actually, it comes out of practice, because when we are taught sociology, we always said write sociologically relevant answers. So that somehow creeps into GS as well. And we try to put in a lot of sociological terms and then it becomes very tough. So what I did was, when we talk about women issues, specifically the NGOs, women civil society organization issues, I used to keep a fact handy, which I can directly put in, and then talk about the problems in a general term, and then talk about the schemes and then a way forward. So I used to do not putting too much of sociological viewpoint like patriarchy, and these are very common terms, whether internalization of patriarchy and all those terms. I do not overload with sociological terms so that it stays general. So I tried to do that.
So how is the study of art and culture and history especially?
So it is very unpredictable and the syllabus is so vast, you can never be like fully prepared. But my strategy was I stick to my resources. Like I did not go beyond the NCRTs for ancient and medieval history, and also for the art and culture I studied the 11th class fine arts NCRT very thoroughly, and most of the questions I was able to answer in the test series, and if not, I did not get disheartened, because there are always some of the answers you cannot answer. So what I used to do was, if anything related I've read already, I would make answer then and there. So it's very important that you should have that presence of mind while writing the answers, because every time you'll study, you'll leave something. So that is not possible to read each and everything.